Former premium device maker Samsung isn't having the best couple of months, from their latest Galaxy Buds 3 looking strangely familiar, to bits falling off of their outrageously expensive foldables, and their strangely familiar looking Watch Ultra combining both issues. What on earth is going on over there? Samsung has, let's say, a bit of history copying Apple, having been pretty much the proxy for Steve Jobs' rage at Google's Android, prompting him to say, "I will spend my last dying breath if I need to, and I will spend every penny of Apple's $40 billion in the bank to right this wrong. I'm going to destroy Android because it's a stolen product. I'm willing to go thermonuclear on this." No wonder Android never got iMessage. But in all fairness, look at what Samsung's phones looked like before and after the iPhone was announced. It's not exactly subtle. But anyway, fast forward a few years, and Apple along with Samsung have pretty much led the smartphone market from the start. Now for a long time, both were pretty good. I mean, you can forgive the occasional blunder, like the Note 7 being pretty explosive, to the point where they were banned on pretty much every airline, and recalled never to be seen again. It became such a meme that you could actually get a mod for GTA San Andreas where the grenade was reskinned to be a Note 7. Big respect to whoever made that. There are definitely those who love their Galaxy phones though, and especially since the S22, there have been major creators choosing to daily drive them, like MKBHD. And the folding phones, now in their 6th generation, have become way more durable in the screen department. Which is probably a good thing, because the first generation of Galaxy Fold had about a 50% failure rate within the first 24 hours when sent out to creators and influencers. Which, I mean, I'd be hoping for a little more shelf life given the price was $1,900 at the time. And it might last through the day. But back up to present day, the S24 wasn't super well received, with a few issues around display colouring, not really having any compelling upgrade features compared to the last generation. I mean, nothing massive, and let's be honest, iPhones are not exactly revolutionary from year to year. But on their other products this year, it's been a bit more of a nightmare. First, those Galaxy 3 buds that I said looked strangely familiar. It's not just the public that thought so. Same with the Galaxy Watch Ultra. It was the chairman of Samsung. You know you messed up when your boss is accusing you of copying Apple's homework. Let's be honest with ourselves too, they do look like the AirPods Pro, but the kind that you buy from Temu. Right down to the little LEDs on the outside of the buds. Nice. Why would you make the top of the case clear? Do people not realise how grim earbuds look after you've used them for a while? They don't need a display case. Add to that, in July, Samsung had to suspend shipments of the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro because the ear tips were so fragile they were breaking when being removed, with the soft silicone tearing away from the hard plastic mounting ring inside. But you know, silicone ear tips are a brand new technology, I guess. Like folding displays, you expect some teething issues. The Galaxy Watch Ultra next. Now I know Samsung already uses that Ultra name in their phones, but if you're going to make a rugged version of your existing watch and give it the same name as the rugged version of Apple's watch, people are going to ask questions, especially when the Ultra doesn't really mean rugged in the phone lineup for Galaxies. But obviously you'd also try and give it a bit of a different look. Oh no, they've basically made it identical, bright orange rubberized strap to the Apple Watch one, and even orange detailing on the buttons. Now, I get that this is international orange and Apple doesn't own that, but come on, this is pretty blatant, right? It's not just me. Quick test, which one did I just flash up on the screen? Are you sure it was the Galaxy Watch Ultra? If you got that wrong, you have to subscribe to my channel. That's actually a part of YouTube's terms of service. However, there is a way to tell the difference if you're unsure. If you have both watches in front of you, give the crown a little pull. If it falls off into your hand, that's the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Oh, and Samsung won't be fixing that for free, even though it's been out for barely a month. Where this happened, Samsung tried to bill the customer $100 for an out-of-warranty repair. I mean, come on guys, it's supposed to be rugged, you have to try a little bit. But it is slightly cheaper than the Apple Watch Ultra at $650, so I guess you can do without the crown, and if you want it back, it's only $50 more than the Apple Watch Ultra. And then onto the Galaxy Foldies. The Z Fold starts at just $1,800, while the Flip is $1,050. And in case you're unsure, the Fold is the big one that folds out like a book, and the Flip is the little one that gets to a normal phone size when you open it. Now, I'm delighted to say that the displays are way more rugged than they were, so that's a win. They still have the ugly crease where they fold, but people that have bought them swear that you don't notice it when it's in use, even though it's the first thing you actually notice when you look at them. Perhaps you get a dose of copium in the box where the charger used to be. But of course, if you make a thing that folds, you end up with something really thick, or you don't and you end up with cameras that aren't so good, because they only have half of the full depth of the device to play with. Now that's just physics, and something that Apple will have to deal with too when they get to the iPhone Slim or Air or whatever they're going to call it next year. Now maybe they make use of that tetraprism to fold up the cameras, but it ain't going to be easy. And those worst cameras aren't really Samsung's fault, it's just a physics issue, and I'm not expecting them to change physics. But they also seem to have a glue problem, as the surrounds for those cameras, the protruding rings that protect them, don't seem to be attached very well and fall off. And I do feel like glue is a thing that the human race is more capable of. The outside display on the Flip also looks like a Windows folder icon, but that's just me being childless about it and not really an issue with the device. And I know there are lots of reports that Apple is working on building folding phones themselves, but for me it's still a technology looking for a problem to solve. Is it cool that you can fold the display on a phone? Kinda. It's pretty magic the first time that you see it, I guess. But when you consider that the outside displays on these are basically for notifications, they are your lock screen. Is it that compelling? Because when you have to take the extra step before you actually do anything of opening it, that's a little bit annoying. While we just swipe up on our iPhones to unlock, they have to go through that whole unfolding process every time, which must be exhausting. I say that as a person that goes to the gym every day and moves heavy things around, always put in the back afterwards, because I'm not a monster. And I hope that Apple do hold fire and just save the folding displays for MacBooks or iPads or some combination of the two, because really, do we want a phone that's a bit harder to use? Even the Fold page on Samsung's website barely shows it open. It seems like the world isn't taken by the idea either, with folding phones accounting for just 1.5%-ish of phone shipments after being around for nearly 6 years already. Now they're an interesting novelty, but so is a phone case with ears, and not everyone wants that either. So let me know your thoughts on Samsung's shoddy workmanship and lack of real effort in the comments. Thanks to the Patreons for the support at iCaveDave.com/Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one. Want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours? Subscribe and ring the bell.